All right, everyone. We are going to get started in like 2 minutes. My bad on the wait. I have 8 live streams here that I have to manage, so I had to make sure everything was smooth across the board. But everything's looking good. So we're going to get started. Give me a couple more minutes, but we'll be there. All right. Now there should be sound. Oh my god. What is happening? Looks like there's no sound for the TikTok either. Oh my god. What's going on? Right? Okay, we're just gonna not do the TikTok right now. Oh, there it is. Oh, okay. Okay, so are we good? Everything looks solid. Everything looks good. Okay, welcome everyone to the 10th anniversary stream of the my every Pokemon uh drawing every Pokemon project. The original version of this I did in was it 20 like it was like 10 years ago when I did the first version of this drawing was like when Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire came out. I I've taken this to conventions over the past decade. I've it's been featured on websites like all over the place. The original time lapse of it has like a million some odd views or some crazy shit like that. But ever since the very first version was done, people have been kind of bugging me to do an all shiny version of it. And I always told people, "Oh, we will when uh when the time's right, we will." Well, it's time now. So we're actually gonna start. See, this is what the base colors look like. So that's the line work. This is what the base colors look like. One of the things that slowed down this drawing initially was when I'm coloring, it gets really hectic because it's hard to kind of decipher because it looks like spaghetti, right? Oh. So one of the things that really slowed down the coloring before was, trying to decipher where the line art is for each character, like where one character ends and like the next one starts. But fortunately now we're at a point where, I have the coloring, the original colors that I did as reference, and I could just okay, flicker on and off, then I can start to stay organized. Anyway, so for this one, we're actually going to start in the back and move our way downwards to Gen 1. Gen 1 is where we'll finish. So, Planes, what's going on? I wonder if this stream is doing okay. My TikTok stream's kind of freaking out here. Give me a second. Yeah, my bad. My TikTok stream's just tripping out. I got it though. Okay. Yeah, I haven't been on in a while, but jeez. This file, as ever, really pushes my system. Okay, like I was saying, so we're gonna start in the back, so that's Gen 8, because this goes up to Legends Arceus. And then we're gonna move our way down into the front. So this first session, what I have planned for today is just to recolor the top portion. So that's all the Hisui and the all the Gen 8 stuff. So all the Gigantamax, probably the perimeter as well. Yeah, so let's go ahead and just start with the Turnamax in the back. By the way, you could limited edition pre-orders of this print are available only during the live streams. After we're done with the streams, you're not going to be able to get the print of this anymore. Okay, I have some references here, color references for the shiny versions. Oh. Okay, hold on. Yeah, so right now I'm dropping a gray into the background, as long as my computer doesn't explode. You know what's crazy? Playing games like doesn't do anything to my computer, but working in Clip Studio Paint, that's like the closest my computer will ever get to like overheating or like throttling. Okay. So we have a question in the YouTube chat. It says, when are you going to draw the next batch of Pokemon I'm missing? After Legends, I'm not gonna add any more Pokemon until after Gen 12. The thing is, like, it takes so long to do any updates to this. I would rather like literally do it. I do literally anything else. You know, recoloring it is nowhere near as much work as like the adding Pokemon, because there's like line art involved, and um, yeah, it's gonna be a while. Also, you have to remember, the drawing is at a point now where if I let's say I add Gen 9 and then whatever comes out in the new Legends game, you're not even going to be able to tell, because like there's so much on here. So the only way like adding more Pokemon would make a difference is if I added like 300 Pokemon. You know, like it has to look substantially different. And with what we have now, it just wouldn't. So I'm not going to be adding any new Pokemon to this for a really long time. I'm like Gen 12 at the soonest. Like the absolute soonest. It's never enough, is it? Do a shiny version. I'm doing it. Yeah, but you know. No, I'm just kidding. No, but I get asked that question a lot, especially at conventions, and that's the simple answer is it needs to be a substantial change. I don't want to, like I said, I could add them in right now. You wouldn't even be able to tell. You wouldn't even be able to tell. See, then I could just flicker on. Oh, see, I could just flicker on the normal, the non-shiny color layer that I did, and that'll help me see. Oh, that's gonna be so helpful. Oh my god. Because normally when I color this, I have to just like trust my line art. Which is cool because I can also just color pick it too. Just kind of shift it over a little bit. I talk a lot of crap about Clip Studio Paint being like super resource heavy, right? Like everyone complains about Photoshop eating up like miles of RAM, right? And just being so resource heavy. But man, you ever push Clip Studio Paint? Clip Studio is like resource hungry like crazy. This is like the worst. It's like a worst program ever. I mean, feature wise, it's amazing, but like, how would you say, um, like resource requirements or like it's what's the word? It's not optimization, is it? Anyway, Clip Studio is like both the worst and the best. Uh, and with so the question is, and what would the lots of unused Pokemon which were leaked recently? Would they eventually be added? I think I'm done with concept Pokemon on these. Like I put all the original concept Pokemon, you know, those stuff that like he drew on napkins and stuff. But I think moving forward, nah, it's just gonna be like stuff that makes it into the game moving forward. So you know where Clip Studio will reference the layers underneath as when you hit it with the paint bucket. That's hands down the thing that made Clip Studio Paint like the best, the best program. Guess we could commit to having the light source on the left hand side, right? You bought the Gen 7 poster. Keep up with the good question. What's up? Fishies and playing with games. The what? Fishies. Oh, wait, which ones? There's a lot. Are you talking about the Magikarp that are around the entire drawing? Which one are you talking about? Oh yeah, so all the Magikarp that are around the like the exterior, they're from I think yeah, you could see all of them. Yeah, they're from a mobile game called Magikarp Jump. Those are actually the final Pokemon I added to this the original run of this drawing. Like we were live streaming it, and then we got near the end, and I was just like, "Oh, is there any Pokemon that I'm missing?" So then we like scoured the internet, and somebody was just like, "What about Magikarp Jump?" I was like, "Yeah, it's a bit tan. We need to." So I think the process here will be just hit everything with a paint bucket first, just kind of lay down where the lines need to be or where the colors need to be, and then because we'll do this by generation. I think it'll be hit it with the paint bucket first, and then go back in afterwards and just kind of clean up any of the like little pixels like that. We'll do all that later, like at one time. I think it'll be more efficient that way. All right, I'm very happy to see that the streams are finally going smooth. I apologize about that earlier. I think I think this is like a bit more it's a bit more saturated. I think it's a little closer. I think it's a little closer to this, like a magenta, than it is that color. It's hard to say. Oh, okay, I know that this needs to be like way more saturated. Like, yeah, it's probably more like that. Whoops. Shit. Yeah, it's a bit dull. It does need to be more saturated like that. Okay. There are a few Pokemon that their shiny colors have changed over the years. Will you take any of that into account, or just keep it simple and stick with their latest updates? Like which ones? The answer will probably be keep up with their latest ones. Um, but like, which ones are you talking about? Yeah, and there's some other questionable things too. Like I included the Lake of Rage Gyarados as its own thing here, separate from Gyarados, and I mean that's shiny already, right? So what are we gonna do? I'm just gonna leave it. Like going from purple to dark gray. I mean, I always took that one um as just kind of like when you see like the original paintings, or just kind of, how like, sometimes he shiny Charizard could even look kind of like greenish depending on like the artist, right? Or depending on like how you're looking at it or what colors it's next to. I mean, like, I always interpreted the old shiny Charizards still being like gray, but it looked purple in like the old watercolor images, right? So, yeah, so go ahead and see, I'm working on too many layers here. It's getting annoying. Okay, there we go. Yeah, yeah. But yeah, and if there are any other ones that come up, I guess the answer would be to just pick the latest. Like if there is like a major change in some of them, I would just choose whatever the latest one is. But I don't think there's any of that, right? Miss anything? Yep. Someone asked me about how long do I think it's going to take to recolor the whole thing. I don't have a good answer for that because the original coloring time, I mean, we're talking from scratch, is like 400 hours. So, I mean, it's not going to take nearly that long. But anybody who thinks it's going to get done in like a week, nah, it's going to take longer than that for sure. I'm estimating, though I'm usually really wrong with my estimations. I'm thinking it's probably going to be around Christmas time. Are we going to start seeing the end, like the finish line to this? But honestly, I wouldn't expect it any time before Christmas. But hey, you never know. Christmas miracles, right? JFK, what's up? And again, we're just hitting it with the paint bucket right now. We're gonna go back in um, at the end of the session, and we'll go in with like a manual brush and clean it up. You see how a lot of it's kind of bleeding into each other. We'll go in and clean all that up with a brush later. Um, see, I'll probably go in like that. Actually, put in some work. I do want to thank everybody who's ever picked up a copy of the older versions of this drawing. Um, man, like I think I was selling my artwork at conventions for um, maybe like a year, and I wasn't doing really well. And it wasn't until I finished the Pokemon drawing that I really start making like some substantial kind of fan art sales. Yeah, I think it was early 2018. I want to say could it be 17. I think it's 18. Um, this Pokemon drawing got shared on Kotaku, and the like it got shared on Kotaku initially, and then it got kind of picked up by a lot of different news places, and just through like that exposure, I was able to pay off what was left of my student loans like just overnight, which is crazy because I had been working on those loans for like you guys know what student loans are like, right? Yeah, yeah, I've been working on that for so long. Still need to find a spot for the Dragon Ball. Oh, by the way, For anyone who doesn't know, I have added the graveyard option to my online shop because I travel for conventions a lot. I'm always moving my artwork around, and just naturally as I do that, things get damaged during transport. And normally I just hoard them, like I just kind of put them away in the office closet, and I'm just like, I'll do something with this later. But lately I'm like, you know what? I can uh yeah, so I started putting them online at like a discount because they're damaged. I can't sell them at full price, right? I don't want to sell them at full price if they're damaged. So I did that, and the response has been great. So I just decided all the damaged stuff, I just put it on the shop at a discount, and people just been like gobbling them up, and that makes me happy because they've just been sitting in storage, some of them for like years, and it just makes me happy knowing that they're going somewhere. Also, it's opening up so much space in my office, my closet. Let's save it. Let's see what the save time is now. I've upgraded both my work um my work drive and my boot drive since the last time we worked on one of these. So they're a lot faster, but let's see what the save time is on these. Prior to my upgrades, it would take 4 minutes to save this file. Do you guys remember when we were live streaming this back in the day? Um, and I would hit save. I would literally just walk away from the computer. Remember that? I'd be like, "Oh, hit save. Can't touch anything. Everything's gonna crash." I'd have to walk away and like go make a sandwich or something. Oh, in the Instagram chat, Wicked says, "I don't think a lot of people appreciate the process of these huge projects. I appreciate that. Thank you." Save as an ad break. It could be. I, I mean, this is a lot faster than it was before. Do you want to know something else that's really stupid? So I default by saving my projects as Photoshop or PSB, large Photoshop big files, PSBs, and I work in Clip Studio Paint. For some reason, I've never read this anywhere, and I wasn't aware that Clip Studio does not like it just doesn't work well with Photoshop files. So if you're working in Clip Studio Paint and you see like your RAM utilization is going crazy high, or like it's like burning up your temps and it's like taking forever to save, if you convert your Photoshop file into a clip file, which is Clip Studio Paint's native file format, it goes so much faster. So these years that we've been working on these big projects, and I've been working, because Photoshop files, PSDs are like the default that professionals work in. If you take the time and switch it over to a clip file, it's so much better. Like when this is in a Photoshop file. Oh, it's almost done saving, by the way, so we can continue. When this is in a PSD form, it takes like 95 gigs of RAM to work on this. When I moved it over to a clip file, it's only using 44. So it's like half, dude. Anyway, uh well the reason I have to use certain programs is because the resolution on these is really high, and like I can't, like I like Paint Tool Sai a lot. I think Paint Tool Sai is like my favorite, I would say. Oh, it's the one I'm really comfortable with. But the version that I have, it limits you to the size of the canvas you could work on. And this canvas is 14,000 and some change by 21,000 and some change. I can't do that on on that, I have to use certain programs that can handle like ultra high resolution. Come on. Who's next? Guess we'll just go down the Pokedex, right? Make it easier. All right, where's everyone? Right here. You're first. Actually, see, I think the noble Pokemon, the nobles will stay the same. So I told you there are certain Pokemon that are not going to change color. Yeah. So I think what we're going to do is just. Okay. No, it's going to be faster to paint bucket it. My bad. Hold up. Okay. All right. What program do I use? Clip Studio Paint. Okay, so the noble Pokemon will kind of keep their existing color scheme. See what I mean? So like someone had mentioned earlier about like certain Pokemon and certain types of coloring and all that stuff, and I'm just like, well, it. Let's see, let's see. Yeah, like someone had mentioned, they don't think enough people appreciate the work that goes into these. I do appreciate that huge compliment, but if you do want more people to appreciate it, you can feel free to share these live streams with people who you think like Pokemon. I don't normally I don't normally ask people to share the stuff because I'm just like, look, if you like it, you like it, right? But man, fuck that. Look, it's been 10 years, right? It's been 10 years. I get a decade's worth of stuff off my chest right now. Yo, Alex, what's going on? How have I been? I'm good. Yeah, I've been excited to work on this project. I just hit save, by the way, so we got a good like 30 seconds to 1 minute of just kind of chilling here while it saves. Um, yeah, I've been plotting to do this since like the well, basically since the original version got done. But I when it when the year started, I had a list of things that I had to do, and I always knew I was just like, oh man, end of the year, we're gonna do it. It's been 10 years, we're finally gonna do it. Yeah. So in the well, while this is saving, I can pull up something here for you guys. Got to pull up something important for you guys, and that is the link to where you could pre-order this. Yeah, okay. Like normally I don't. You guys know me, right? I don't go around be like, yo, share my stuff, pre-order and everything. You know, like I just draw and then whatever happens happens. But god damn it, it's been like 10 years. Uh, this is like my favorite drawing that I've ever done. It's not like the most technically difficult one. It's just the one that's made the most impact on my life. And we're just waiting for it to save, by the way. And I'm just at a point where I'm just like, you know what? More people need to know about this thing. I appreciate you getting the very first version. Grayling, you know that the original version, you can't like. I don't produce those anymore. That's like a rare artifact now. There's a set of them that were when it was first released. I have first edition written on the very bottom right hand side. Those are the hard ones to find. Yeah, and then I'm using GIMP for 10 years. Yeah, those ones are really hard to find. The ones that say first edition on them. I think I sold that type, the first edition ones with the actual first edition labels. Um, I sold those for maybe a year, and then I stopped putting the little label on it. I think I started adding like second edition once the first wave of second ones came out. Um, yeah, but I digest. Yeah, you know, I've done a lot of fun stuff with this project. Like, for example, Spinda. If for those who don't know, there are 4.5 billion potential Spinda patterns. So what I do with this Spinda in this drawing is every time I go get it, every time I go out and get a new set of prints made, I'll just change Spinda's pattern. Why is the chat paused? Don't pause. Keep going. I think with the nobles, I used a lot of like color picking. I used a lot of the same colors. Oh, it's white. Yeah, Tiago, what's going on? Now we're not so much continuing it as we're just I'm doing a full shiny recolor of it. So we're just doing a little special event with it right now. Okay, you know what's gonna be easier than me flickering the back on and off because I think that it's probably a little hard for you guys to watch, right? As I because I'm pulling up my original color, my non-shiny color palette, so I can kind of see everything. I think that might be a little hard for you guys to watch, and I am streaming, so I have to think about you guys while I work. I'm just gonna go grab a print of it from over here, and then I'll use that as my reference for. Oh, I don't need a print. Hold up, I got the file over here. What am I doing? The file here somewhere. Here it is. All right. Okay, cool. Zeno, what's up? All right, cool. All right. I won't be flickering the background on and off anymore because I know that's probably not easy to watch. So I just pulled up a reference for myself here. Okay. One second. Yeah, I tried to find a print of it to put on screen here, but they're pretty well buried because my next convention isn't for like 2 months. So I did a little bit of spring cleaning. So I don't have any that I could pull out. I think when we end the stream later, I'll pull one out for the next stream. And what's everyone working on these days? I'm actually really, what's the word? Giddy would be the right word to work on the shiny version. I've been wanting to do this. Okay, like I've kept the same work calendar for the past 10 years. Like I've just been slowly adding to it. It's like an Excel sheet. It's like I don't have it in me to like start something new because I'm just so used to how I organize my work. But I put a lot of my projects on there, or like my to-do projects on there. And one thing that keeps popping up continuously is just like do a shiny version, do a shiny version, especially back in like 2015 to 2016. Like, do it, man. People hella want it. So I'm just so hyped to do this. But I promise you, after like 3 days, I'm just gonna be like, fucking get this over with. So enjoy my energy now. I promise you, it's not gonna stick around. Pokemon Direct. Might check it out at some point. Very casual. You draw with your mouse. I don't laugh at that. I've seen. I mean, we've all seen like the insane things that people have been able to do with like either a mouse or and Microsoft Paint. Oh god, some people are crazy. Yeah, I'm working on a 24-inch Cintiq right now. I actually sold, can't believe it. I sold my Mobile Studio Pro a couple weeks ago. Sold it on eBay. I sold it to another artist, really cool artist. It was hard for me to let it go because like I really like that thing, but because I work from home now, right? Like I used to take that thing with me when I was traveling all the time, but now I'm just like I don't go anywhere, so it's just been sitting around. Uh, I do miss it though because that thing is tight. So I think one thing that we will do with the shiny version that I did not do on the regular version is, you see how everyone's just a flat color? The there's no, like, there's some gradients, right? But for the most part, well, I mean, almost everything is just flat. When I did the very first one, it had hard cell shading to it, and I, I I didn't like it at the time because I think the contrast was too heavy, and it was like an assault on the senses. Like, it was really hard to read everything. But I think we're gonna go cell shading, a light cell shading here, with like a lighter contrast, and I think that's gonna look a lot nicer than just having it flat. But then again, that will double the work time. At least double it. I don't know. We'll see. Wait, do the noble Pokemon come shiny? Hold on, I gotta look this up. I don't think so, right? Okay, they do come shiny, but their color schemes, well, when they're in their noble form, their gold glowy form, they look the same. So okay, it's fine. We're fine. Malcolm, what's going on? Whoa, file saving right now, guys. I want to welcome everyone onto Twitch, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Kick, Trovo, and I think I'm on D Live. I hit to start, but I didn't really go check on it. Oh, also, of course, TikTok. Hello, TikTok. All right, so we've been on for an hour. Okay. Yeah. All right. So probably be, give or take, Christmas time is when we'll start really seeing the end to this. What's going on, Malcolm? Okay, so the saving is a lot better than it used to be, but no matter what I do, it's just nothing. I mean, moving forward, I think like probably like a Gen 5 NVMe would be the only thing that makes a difference because I'm on Gen 4 right now, and it's still like the speed of the saving is still really really leaves much to be desired, but it's all right. But in order for me to afford getting a new motherboard so I can switch over to Gen 5, y'all are gonna have to pre-order this print, which is available in my online shop right now. What are you talking about, man? I've already done the base coloring. Hard work's already done, right? I already did the line art and the base coloring. We just gotta recolor it shiny. The hard work is done. That's what I'll tell myself 2 weeks from now when I'm begging for death. Like, it's never ending. See how long I can keep that energy. No, I'm doing well though. I'm doing well. The wife is doing well. I'm in charge of her physical therapy, her recovery, and that's been going well. She's actually like passed out right now because um like she's getting stronger. She's getting a lot of her strength back, but her recovery time is still really slow. So I'll take care of her physical therapy, her physical training, and then she'll just pass out for like 2 whole days. Like sometimes I gotta go in there and like wake her up to like rehydrate her. Like you haven't drank anything in 12 hours. Yeah, but other than that, everything's been all right. This project again because the Pokemon project is like it was the first one of these big drawings that I ever did, and it carried me throughout like the beginning of my art career. So it is the most I think it's the most meaningful drawing that like I've ever done, probably ever will have complete. Um so I've just been really hyped about this. So to me, this doing the shiny version of this, it doesn't even feel like how when I start one of these big projects, I'm always just so like, all right, let's gotta do this, I guess. This one I've just been really excited for it. This is my reward for fucking surviving another year. Did I miss anything? I think I got it all. Mm, I said I wasn't gonna flicker that on and off, but sometimes I might need to. Oh, yeah, okay. So I think next, because it's easier to do to color the Pokemon in the back and then color the ones in front of them, so that like if you kind of go outside the lines, the one in front will kind of block all your mistakes. Um, we'll go ahead and start. We'll start with the Gigantamax. Move our way around the drawing, and then we'll All right. Okay, so I think the goal for this session is to color all the Gigantamax. That's our short-term goal right now. So we're gonna save it, and then let me pull up my references because I only have references for the base forms. Pull up the reference for the Gigantamax. Ah, oh, these shiny Gigantamaxes are sick. You went dumb on Thanksgiving. I was very well behaved during the holidays. I have I've hit a comfortable weight, and I'm not trying to fuck it up. So I'm just gonna stay. I'm just gonna stay clean. I went to a family event for Thanksgiving, and Filipinos go hard on that food, but I was very responsible. Okay, well I have the Gigantamax references pulled up right now. File still saving. Like I'm finally like getting past like my sleep apnea, right? Because we've cut out majority of the preservatives in our diet, mostly out of necessity for my wife. But it takes two, it takes a household, so I play ball. But it's done me really well. Like cutting out sugars and preservatives have done more to help with my sleep apnea than like cutting weight and all that stuff. So I tend to just kind of stay away from bad foods. This is taking forever to save. Okay, we're streaming at 30. Please tell me I'm recording at 60. No, I'm recording at 30. It's fine. We don't need 60 FPS for this shit. Mm, it's a little less saturated. That looks okay. So who here is fluent in the live stream platform called Trovo? I'm not. I actually don't know how to use it, but I have a couple people in there, and it looks like the chat is like casting spells right now, and that sounds like it'd be really cool, but I have no fucking idea what's going on in there. Okay, so I said that we're not going to be cell shading them because it would take too much extra time. I think for the Gigantamax we can do a little bit of that. Ah, you bastard. We'll clean all this up later. No. One second, my wife is texting me. All right, it's all good. So with your you said it's day 2. Oops, see, I messed that up. What are you same protocol, juice fasting? Like I said, we're just dropping the paint bucket right now to get the things where they need to be, but we'll add in all the details and stuff. Uh, add in all the details at the end of each session, basically. Who here has been watching Pokemon since it came? Well, I'm assuming majority of my viewers, I'm assuming, are U.S. based. Who's been watching it basically since it came to the States? Right here. It's in like 3rd grade or some shit. Brain Punk Kid. My bad, I missed your comment earlier, your message. Said you're trying to be an illustrator as well. That's good. You know, now's a really good time, I would say, since you could kind of it is kind of free game. Anyone can kind of make a career out of being an artist at almost like any point. You could be drawing for like a month and just something, and you just all of a sudden have a career. You could uh you could be drawing Pokemon for 10 years and still question what the hell you're doing with your life. All of the above are possible. So, oh, all right. Save it. Now, I have to make a backup copy of the file. All right, so we're letting the file save right now. Hope everyone's doing well. I have to message my wife back really quick. And when I come back, there better be something for me to read. Well, while this is saving, I'm gonna go over here real quick and get a drink of water. My dog's in here with me. Dude, the dog just passed 2 years old now, right? Our puppy. He's hella big now. Eating like 3 pounds of pork a day. Murdering my wallet. Okay. Gigantamax Al Creamy. Okay. I think the full shiny Gigantamax El Creamy is almost like pure white, I think. So we'll go ahead and we're not going to go like a 100% white. We'll go something about right here. That's too much. It does have the dark like bow tie. Um, Partially, my dog is like leaning on me. She needs my attention. I'm not gonna give it to her. Vince, what's up, man? How's everything? What's that bow tie look like? There are no high res pictures of. So it looks like the pattern on its bow tie doesn't. It's not horizontal like normal Gigantamax El Creme. It actually goes vertical. Okay. Dang. I was hoping to not need to do any line work at all. There it is. Okay. Vince, hope everything's going well, man. Happy to hear about that schooling. That's crazy. You know, like when you hear about like med school students getting like their whole thing paid off, you know? Like when I worked as a smog technician, even though my boss and I hated each other, um I don't know if he's like obligated to do this, but he did it anyway. He paid for my anytime I had to renew my licenses. And I was like, why are you fucking doing this, bruh? The fuck? Oh, give me that well, I guess maybe, but like I don't know. He didn't trust me to do my work sometimes. I mean, rightfully so. But I mean, to make it so apparent. No, in all honesty, like in hindsight, he had a massive amounts of patience. You remember how I used to be? Yeah, yeah. Shout outs to shit, I forgot his name. Perry. Perry, if you're watching this, if I didn't mess up your name, shout outs to you. Yeah, more patience than I would have had for me. I think that's it for El Creamy. Okay, yep. So switch over to Corviknight now. Oh, that's sick. Oh. All right, give me a second. I gotta text the wife. She just woke up. Usually when she wakes up, she needs my help with a lot of stuff. So let's go ahead and save it again. With all the recent news of UFO sightings, have you seen anything interesting in the sky lately? Nope. I'd have to be outside to do that. I don't I don't leave the house except to get groceries. You don't want no part of that shit. So now that we've been on stream for well, like an hour and a half, almost 2 hours actually. How's the stream looking for everybody? I've had to mess around with some settings, but everything looks smooth on my end. I'm streaming to 8 platforms right now, so I just I need to make sure everything looks smooth for everyone. I've been ignoring a bunch of news about the 50 series and video cards that are coming out. I've been trying to ignore all the news for that because it's all speculative. But I recently hopped back on today and I just saw everything and I was just like, what a bunch of crap. Yo, Phil, looks good. Thank you. Yeah. Instagram chat. All right. So Corviknight is up next. We're working our way from the back forward, but the Gigantamax Pokemon, which surround the outside of the drawing, they like frame it. They're technically the furthest thing back. So I think today's session will be finish the Gigantamax recolors, and then we'll probably call it. And then tomorrow we'll do the or whenever the next session is. By next session, I mean it'll either be tomorrow or a few hours after. This is going to be one of those like I'm not going to sleep. We're just going to get this done kind of projects. So if anyone here has any bit of insomnia, you should hang out with me while we do this. Because that's how it's going to be. a little confused here. I'll pull up my references. Is it down freehanded and then scanned or drawn with a digital canvas from the beginning? No, all of this drawing is full digital. So I did all the line art starting from the bottom. If it'll zoom in, there we go. Yeah, so all of this is digital freehand. You know, I have my big tablet here. I actually did most of this on a small tablet, a 13-inch tablet. Yeah. For production purposes, this drawing had to be full digital. Amazing. Thank you. So if you're just tuning in, I want to welcome everyone. We're going to what's referred to as resetting the room. So this is my drawing of every Pokemon, Gen 1 through 8. The very first version of this that I did, which was only Gen 1 through 6, I did 10 years ago. It was very significant to me. You know, at the time it took like, was it 120 hours to complete the first version of it, which, you know, that's easy work now, but at the time I was just like, oh my god, this is so much work. And it like I was like a new artist at the time, and I was like having trouble like getting noticed and like making sales and all that, but this just like single-handedly turned that like completely around. So oh, this drawing just means a lot to me. That's all I gotta say. I got like nothing else other than that. This is like, this drawing just means a lot to me. So the idea of making a full shiny version, I've been floating around with it in my head for some time. Basically since I finished the original version, I was like, oh, I need to make a full shiny version. And I was like, well, there's like a level of novelty to it where I'm like, okay, well, I have to just do that when the time is right. You know, like I think in my gut I'll know when it's right. And I'm like, all right, 10-year anniversary, it's time. So anyway, the too long didn't read. That's what this drawing is. Son is getting into manga drawing, and you're showing him this right now. What software am I using for the drawing right now? I'm using Clip Studio Paint. If you're on Instagram right now, if you want to see the full like HD version of this stream, you can hop on over to YouTube or Twitch. Yeah, you don't have to, but if you just wanted to see like the full HD version of this live stream, so you could see a lot more of like the drawing on the edges and all that stuff. I'm using Clip Studio Paint right now. It I think for digital illustration, especially, you say he wants to do manga. Clip Studio Paint came, if my memory serves me correctly. Uh, Clip Studio Paint originally came from a program called, what's it called? Manga Studio? Is that what it used to be called? Does anyone remember what that used to be called? Anyway, uh, it's a very good program. They have a and I'm not sponsored by them. I just really like their product. They have, or at least used to have, a non-subscription based model. So you could actually get it and just like use it freely. They make you log in, but you don't have to pay the monthly like you do with Adobe. It's another reason I really like Clip Studio. Let me rephrase that. When Adobe attempts to make me pay for their software. uh Sun is blown. Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate that. You know, it's a we were talking about it earlier on stream, especially like with younger people. This is like an amazing time to try to become an artist because all the information is out there, like readily available for either dirt cheap or free, like even just on YouTube, right? Um, and because it's free, it's like you can just try as many different um, tutorials and instructors, and like there's no like downside to anything. Like if you go to art school, and again, I've never been to art school, so I can't speak like intelligently about it, but I've been to regular school or regular college, and I'm assuming it's kind of the same thing. If like if you go to a course and then the course just kind of isn't teaching you anything, you're kind of stuck, right? But like with the resources you have online now for art, you can like speed run somebody's entire training program for free and then be like, that wasn't really not that wasn't for me. Let's move on to the next one. It's like amazing. Is that it for Corviknight? Okay. Gonna add a little bit of gloss to Corviknight. Because he is in fact made of metal. Nothing crazy. Need to go too crazy on it. Need to add a little something here. Oh, you hear my puppy's whining? You know why? It's because my wife's finally awake. Last week, because I'm in charge of her physical therapy, her PT, and we went to the gym like 3 times last week, which is abnormal because that's a lot. Because like normally it's like once, maybe twice a week. Last week we went 3 times. She's been asleep for like 2 days straight. So whenever she does start moving around the house, the dog gets all excited. So I gotta go. I think I have to go check up on her really quick. Um, Not ending the stream. Right, Corviknight's done. All right, we're gonna hit save. We'll zoom out so you can see how much work we have to do still. I'm gonna hit save and then I shall return. All right. But before that, I was gonna run an ad, but I have 8 live streams here. I'm not even gonna try to attempt that. So I'm just gonna drop a link to where if you wanted to pre-order copies of this print, it's in my online shop now. You can only get the full shiny version of this during the duration of these live streams. Once we finish the live streams to this, I won't make these available anymore in full shiny. So it'll be like a very, very limited version of this. So, all right, it's saving. I got to go check on the live, take a little break. We've been on for 2 hours. I'll be right back. All right. Oh my God, there's so many streams here. I'm not even gonna switch way. I'm just gonna mute my mic and then I'll be right back. Okay, we're back. I have to go check on the wife. She's making us some tea right now. Awesome. Oh, jeez. Okay, Corviknight's done. I think next we can do Melmetal. Okay. I totally forgot Rillaboom's name. I'm not gonna lie. When I Googled for color reference, I just wrote Gigantamax grass monkey. See, it knew what I was talking about. Oh, jeez. Raise the saturation a little bit. Well, I mean, it'd be different if I was like, you know what it is, man. It's because we're not consistently playing Pokemon. You know what I mean? Like when a new game comes out, you and I like we'll play it, we'll be hella into it for a little bit, you know, but we're not. It's like trying to learn a language when you live in a different country, you're surrounded by it all the time, so eventually you just learn the language, right? We're not surrounding ourselves with, Gen 8, Gen 9 Pokemon all the time. We just kind of do our business and then leave the region, right? So like at least for me, that's why I know I'm never like learning their names fluently because it's just like I don't spend enough time around them. That's like that's like say you work at Walmart, right? I say you only go in like twice a week, right? And everybody's shifts don't match up, and you see someone like once a week, and then they get mad when you don't remember their name. It's like, nah, man, that's not how this works. I believe, yep. There's like full versions of the characters behind the Magikarp jump, but we ain't doing all that because the Magikarp jumps are staying there. So we're gonna color around them. All right, you want to hear the craziest one of those, man? Look, it, I'm not. All right, look, I'm not good with names to begin with. All right, and if you're watching, you just need to know you can't be offended by what happened. So like, there's a VTuber, right? There's an artist. She's a really good artist. She's cool. She's a good artist. She's a good like business person. But the thing is, I never knew what she looked like, right? And then at one point we met at a convention, and I was just like, I don't know who you are, right? And they got super mad at me. I'm just like, your entire brand revolves around people not knowing what you look like. Like, why are you getting mad at me? Like I don't get like I don't have like inside intel on what you look like. Anyway, she hasn't spoken to me since, and I don't think that's cool because that's not my fault. Like, what am I supposed to do? You know what I'm saying though? Like, that's not my fault, man. You know me, I'll take responsibility for everything. That one, nah, nah, that's on you. Saying, player, what's going on in the YouTube chat? How's it going? Yeah, but you feel me though? Like, come on, man, that's not fair. uh, Trip Design, how's it going in the Instagram chat? How's it going? Uh, so you're terrible at remembering Malcolm in the the Twitch. I can't say that. The Twitch chat. Uh, Terrible at remembering names in general. People run into you at bars. It's been so long. You're like, first off, I don't think I remember meeting you the first time. If we met at a bar, No, I'm not even gonna. We were gonna cell shade that. I'm not even gonna. Oh no, these are actually the same. I got those colors wrong. Time to leave. All right. You gonna play today?
Yes. Later.
Thank you. I just realized that Instagram video is like super far behind. That's cool. So all right. So player in the YouTube chat says, "Sorry, tips you gave about drawing hand." Oh yeah, that was you. So in regards to hands, yeah, I don't want to go over it right now, but all right, just really quick, we'll take a detour from the drawing real quick. This is how it is, right? Okay, so the hand, in short, you have like 8 bones in your wrist. They overlap on each other, but you just remember that there's 8 bones basically. Okay. One, two, three. It should be a little shorter. Okay, more or less, those are kind of the only bones you need to remember in the hand, right? The palm, your metacarpals, right? And then, so how I like to visualize it is each of these bones, and I've done this tutorial. I think I have the full tutorial of this on DeviantArt. They paid me once to do a tutorial. Anyway, so I imagine each of these sections, you can either picture them as like a rectangle, or excuse me, like a long box, or a cylinder, whichever one works best for you. But if you could visualize rotating, right? So this is that. If you could visualize rotating that in different like angles, then there's no reason you can't start to. This should remove like all the mystery of the hand. Do you know what I mean? And if this gives you trouble, that means that you're not good at rotating boxes, and that has nothing to do with hands. That just means that you have trouble with boxes, right? So when you're laying out a hand, foreshortening it should actually be pretty easy. I know I'm shotgunning this, but when I was trying to describe it in response to your comment, I know it's hard when I'm just leaving a comment. So this is what I meant by it. Right. Whoa. Uh-oh. I did something. I pressed like 2 buttons at the same time. I don't know what that does in Clip Studio Paint. Oh. I activated like the print for some reason. Anyway. Yeah, so that's what I'm talking about. when I was talking about simple shapes, because if you can rotate a simple object, you should be able to. You know what I'm saying? When I was trying to describe it in that comment, that's what I'm talking about. And then getting them to do things, that comes down to like gesture practice. You know what I mean? Like that comes down to using a million references, and then eventually you'll kind of learn and how to get like expressive hands. Watch a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh. That'll help you a lot. I'm not fucking joking. Takahiro Kagami, the guy who has like, have you ever watched Yu-Gi-Oh? And they have those scenes where the hands are like so like expressive. He's the dude who does it. I bought his art book. I don't. It's not. It's like an art book of hands. It's not even in English. I still bought it. Anyway, back to Pokemon. Anyway, I hope you stuck around for that uh brief explanation. What's that? Okay. Oh, that's not part of Rillaboom. That's fire. Eh, yeah, that's a bit oversaturated. Dasher, how's it going? So if anyone's just joining, we are currently recoloring my drawing of every Pokemon, but a shiny version to celebrate the 10-year anniversary of the beginning of this project. Oh, you're writing right now. Nice. Productive. Okay, the green is not like, it needs to look more, oh fuck. That's fine. I got everything here. All right, so Rillaboom, and we got some of other Pokemon started, so we'll go ahead and save it. Oh, Corviknight looks sick. Just make a print of this right here. Well, we're gonna hit save. I think my puppy needs to go out and use the restroom right now. Okay, I think Melmetal's next. Yeah, Melmetal's next. Okay. Pull up that reference. Gigantamax Melmetal. Shiny. Huh. those shoulder plates are not gold. Boo. Oh wait, okay, the center. What am I doing? Center is gold. There. God damn it. Hey, Tiago's asking in the YouTube chat, am I coloring it all over again? Yeah, we are doing a full shiny recoloring. It's a little tricky to read my handwriting here, but gigantamax, metal eye, still red? The answer is yes. It's actually the color of the clouds, so we'll do that. It's close to the Dragon Ball drawing. Yeah, that's that's like its own thing, right? Yeah, I think I have like my soul could withstand maybe one more project like of that caliber and it's going to be One Piece like uh yeah, so I'm just kind of just saving myself for One Piece. I got other things, other projects that I'm doing. Well, I'm waiting for One Piece to be done. Once One Piece is done, I'll do it. The thing is, like, one thing I've learned over the years of doing these kinds of projects, it's I don't ever want to do any more of them for something that isn't like complete. It's because like it's always what are you gonna do when this happens, when that happens, when that thing comes out. We'll do it. I'll do it, and then that'll be the last one. Once I do that, I don't want to hear anybody ever ask me about it ever again, and simply because there's nothing that's ever gonna top it. That's like it's like the end of the line, right? In regards to like, because the you say the novelty. I don't know if that's the right word for it. Of these projects that I do is just they're just crazy, right? And I was just like, oh, okay, well, what's crazier than Pokemon? Oh, it's Dragon Ball, and I love Dragon Ball, and I'm just like, well, what beats that? Nothing except except One Piece. So when that's done, I'm just like, well, then what? Gotta dip out on top. You know what I mean? Dasher, thank you for the lurk. I just noticed it, by the way. Thank you. It's around that time I want to welcome everyone to the stream, whether you're on Twitch, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Trovo, Kick, D Live. I don't know what D Live is, but like apparently I'm live on there now. I made an account with them. They're probably just collecting a bunch of my data right now, which is fine because you just have to assume that's what's happening at every moment. Petros in the Trovo chat. Thank you, I appreciate it. I don't know if you guys realize this, but see, I have a lot of a lot of folders here on the right hand side. I mean, there's a lot of folders there to help me keep things organized. But if you notice, all the line art, um, see the line art is actually on one layer, except for like the Gigantamax are on their own. But pretty much everything else, line art wise, is just one layer. All of these little bits and bobs, these masking layers right here, those are all just like specific things to certain Pokemon. But other than the Gigantamax, all the line art to this is just one layer. Same thing with the colors. The flat colors are all just one layer as well. The file is still huge. So I normally don't do this, but if you guys enjoy this project, we are going to be live streaming this shiny recoloring for probably the next 2 weeks, probably maybe a little longer, just because that's how long it's going to take. Um, but if you guys want to share it, I ain't gonna stop you. I normally don't ask that kind of stuff from you guys. But look, man, I'm not getting any younger here. People need to see this drawing. That's what I'm saying. All right, everyone. I'm gonna save it real quick, and I have to make a backup copy of the file. But my dog, my puppy, needs to go out and use the restroom. So, good opportunity. We'll save it here. I'll be back in a few minutes. And in the meantime, I'm gonna go ahead and drop links to where you can pre-order this print. The shiny version of this print is only going to be available during the duration of the live streams that we're working on it. After that, I'm not going to take any more orders for the shiny. So this is going to be like a really cool, like limited kind of thing that I wanted to do with it, you know? So if you're interested in picking up a full shiny version, there's the link right there. Otherwise, sharing this would be appreciated. So I'll be back in a few minutes. I got to take the puppy out. All right, I have returned. How's everyone doing? We have a long, a long process ahead of us. Um, Damn it! I'm gonna message my wife real quick. All right, so that's Melmetal. All right, one sec. I gotta pull up the reference picture for the next Gigantamax. I have the references for all like base form, excuse me, all base form shinies pulled up. But I forgot to pull up the references for shiny Gigantamax. Oh. Just wait for it to save. We'll get moving again once it finishes saving. It just takes a minute. I think a literal 1.5 minutes, which is fine because the last time we worked on this was like pre-upgrade on my computer. It took 5 minutes to save the file, so I'll take it. I'll take this. I need to hotkey the paint bucket. Don't know why I haven't yet. Let's see. W function. The paint bucket. G. Ugh. Why do I have two G hotkeys? Never mind. We're not going to do that. I'll figure that out later. So today we're like the goal for today, because I find that projects like this work best when you work in like micro goals. So the um the only goal today is to finish recoloring the Gigantamax Pokemon. That's it. After that, I'll take the rest of the night off, kind of go recharge, and then tomorrow or later tonight, the next session will be what's it, Gen 8. Ooh. Why is it so empty here? I don't know. You ask me. You tell me. No, I don't know. I never get a lot of people on my streams, so I appreciate you stopping by. Thank you. I appreciate that. So, in regards to like cell shading, I think we're gonna do it. Not think. I'm pretty sure we're gonna do that for the Gigantamax Pokemon because I mean they're really big and they are around the perimeter of the whole drawing. They frame the whole drawing, right? So I think giving them a little bit more detail in regards to shading, I think that will be really nice. But then for all the normal Pokemon inside the framing, we'll just flat color all of them. Mostly because like trying to cell shade everybody, nah, that's gonna take like a month. Oh, just FYI, I am currently recording all these sessions in 4K, so it's fun to hang out on the live streams. But when this is all done, I will have all the footage like we always do, and I'll be posting this up. I don't know if I'm gonna time lapse it or if I'm just gonna put like like an unedited, like crazy long real time version of this. Probably it's probably time lapse, but um, yeah. So if you miss any of these sessions, uh, the footage will be made available on YouTube. think we can move on to Toxicroak next. Toxicity, my bad. Toxicroak's a different Pokemon. All right. I think this is one of those Pokemon where the shiny is like very similar to its regular, its non-shiny form. Let's see. It's borderline the same thing. So or I'm looking at the wrong images. You know what I need to do? Let's just go on YouTube, find somebody who's encountered one in a raid. Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm having trouble finding this one. Why though? Okay, all right, I found it. I think. uh, Bone. Yeah, yeah. I have all the Magikarp jump Magikarp in there already. They're along the perimeter. They're on the outside with the Gigantamax. So they're all done already. Right now I'm trying to find a reference picture for shiny Gigantamax Toxtricity. I don't think I've ever seen a shiny Gigantamax one. So I'm trying to make sure I'm not coloring it incorrectly. Because the images I'm finding, it looks very similar to its base form, right? Am I going to sell prints of it? I am. Uh, I have the pre-orders for it up right now. Hopefully that link works. To go in my online shop. I'm actually only making prints of these available during the live streams. Once we're done with the streams, whoever ordered them will get them, and then they're not going to be available for purchase anymore because I have the non-shiny version done already, but this is kind of like a special event that I'm doing here where I'm recoloring the entire thing shiny, and the shiny versions are only going to be available for a limited time. Um, but the regular version, the non-shiny, will be available forever. I think I found what I'm looking for. Okay. There's a lot of little moving parts here, and it's hard for me sometimes to kind of read what's going on. Is that right? I think that's right. Oh, I appreciate that. Yeah, whenever I do fan art, I do always try to keep um like character model in mind. You know, I want to make it look like Pokemon, but I still want it to look, like me, like mine. Which sometimes is hard because a lot of Pokemon are just kind of like blobs with googly eyes. What's that? Instagram chat. It says, yeah, you're right. What are you talking about? What did I say? Can't remember. Um, how many layers? Are you asking me how many layers are in this? A lot. But you know what it is? Like I was showing earlier, a majority of my layers actually come from more effects than anything. Like all, if you see the like the Gigantamax Pokemon, like they're all on their own line art, right? But then the rest of everything is on one layer. See how? And then all the little things that have clips to it are just like individual special things for specific Pokemon. But it's a lot of layers, but it could be more for how big this project is. All right, hold on. I gotta fix one of my hotkeys. It's magic wand. W. So the question is, am I waiting till Gen 9? I'm going to wait till way later because you could see it right now, right? If I added Gen 9, even so, let's say I added Gen 9 plus whatever comes out in the next Legends game, you wouldn't even be able to notice it. So I'm waiting till at least 12, at least the Gen 12 before I add any Pokemon to it. Basically, this 10th anniversary shiny edition is going to be the last like thing that we do with this drawing. What? At least another 5 years or something like that, right? So, yeah. Yeah, but I mean, yeah, I want it to look like substantially different um with the next update. You know, when I eventually add more Pokemon to this in the future, I want it to look very different. I don't want to just sprinkle it on here and because sometimes I have people, because I sell these at conventions a lot, so I have a lot of people who have been following this drawing. They'll come up and they'll look at it really hard. They're like, "Ooh, is this the same one that I have?" Like they'll do that thing. And to me, I'm just like, I don't want y'all doing that. I want you guys to know, that oops, I messed up this color. That it's different just by looking at it. Yeah, the most recent one. Oh, I appreciate that. How many layers do I have so far? A lot. I don't know. A lot. But honestly, not for what this project is, really not that many layers. Like it could be way worse, honestly. Well, I appreciate you picking up the most recent one. It has the Gigantamax on it, right? Yeah, that's the most recent one. That one looks completely different from any of the ones, the couple of versions prior to it. That's why I like it so much. Um, yeah. So this one's gonna be really fun. Like I had talked about at the beginning of the stream, I've been wanting to do a full shiny version for a really long time. So this is like, I've just been waiting for like years to do it. So this is, what's the word? Cathartic? Anyway, I've just I'm just like enjoying this while I can, because we can only ever do this once. When you do the next one in a while, it'd be cool to add the trainers or human characters. No, I mean, like early on, I considered doing like the gym leaders, but I was just like, ah, this is really a Pokemon kind of thing. They're not really invited to the party. Yeah, but I mean, it's crossed my mind. Pretty much anything has crossed my mind at this point with this drawing. Yeah, so the whole thing about doing gym leaders, that was like a very, very early idea, like way back in the day. I think once I decided no on that, I kind of like didn't even reconsider it after a while. So yeah, so I did hit this with the paint bucket. We are gonna go back in later and kind of clean. Yeah, there's a lot of empty pixels like right there. Yeah, we'll be going in with a paintbrush and cleaning all that up later. But right now, I just need to put colors where they need to be. Save it. Take about 2 minutes or so to save the file. Oh, then I have to make a backup copy after I save it. So these Gigantamax Pokemon are probably the ones that are going to take maybe the longest amount of time throughout this entire drawing. So it's good that we're getting them out of the way first. And the reason they're going to take the longest is because, is it saving? Okay, good. The reason they're going to take the longest is one, they're like, for the most part, the most detailed until you get like to specific ones like Arceus or something. But we're also cell shading them. You see how we're putting little shadows on them. We're only doing that with the Gigantamax Pokemon. The rest of the Pokemon will be flat colored. My favorite Pokemon, Scizor, non mega, non shiny. When I was a little child before Gen 2 came out, um Scyther was my favorite Pokemon. So it's only natural that like I got a bootleg copy of Pokemon Silver from the Philippines before it came out in the US. The game was in Japanese. And my only goal in that game, because I had a little guidebook too that I printed off the internet. And I was like, my only goal was to get Scizor in that game, but I couldn't do it because you got to trade to get him. So I was like getting through almost the whole game, and I just couldn't do it. And I was like, so sad. Well, at the time I didn't know. I was a kid. Okay. Well, the file is taking its sweet time to save. All right. So what we're gonna do is I have to make some food and actually kind of get ready. My wife has her physical therapy today. Um, I'm in charge of all that, so I actually have to go take her out and do all that. But later on tonight, no saying, no telling when, we will come back on and continue this. So the Gigantamax Pokemon will be first on our hit list. It's coming out looking pretty okay so far. I like it. This is a lot of fun. Yeah. So thank you all for joining. This was nice. I've been wanting to do this again. I've been wanting to do the shiny version of this for so long. So I'm enjoying it. And I will see y'all in a few hours, okay? My mouse will work.